Welcome to Star Joe's podcast, episode 250, Baltiless Comic Con. I'm your host, Ryan.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm John.
And welcome back, everyone. We cannot get together for Baltimore Comic Con this year, so we're doing a Baltiless Comic Con. Little stupid dad joke pun on the name of it. But for this episode, this is our 250th episode. So we're celebrating that. We're celebrating over 10 years of doing Star Joe's podcast. We are celebrating conventions in general. So even though we can't go to conventions this year, we're going to talk about conventions. And we're celebrating all the stuff that the show is based on, all the properties that we grew up with, all the stuff we love, comic books, cartoons, toys, all that fun stuff. So we have a ton of people joining us, and there might be more people joining us as we go through the episode, because we had about 17, 18 people sign up to join us, and I told them join when you can and sign off when you need to. So with that being said, what we're going to do is we're recording this on Zoom. Hopefully I'll have a video that I can put on the YouTube channel, but at the very least, I'm hoping that I will have the audio to put out as a regular podcast. But we're going to do, as a typical Zoom meeting, we're going to do a little icebreaker so everyone gets a chance to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about themselves and whatnot. So this is very much the Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is your daddy and what does he do? So we're going to start off, and Chuck and John, I want you guys to participate in this as well, because this might be, some of the questions you'll answer might be stuff people don't know about you guys. So I want you to say who you are, and I will introduce each person so you'll know when to go. So don't worry about that. But you'll introduce yourself. You'll say roughly how long you've been listening to Star Joe's. You don't have to give the exact episode unless you know that, but you can give just a rough idea how long. Where you're from, however much of that information you want to give. If you just want to say what state you're in, what city you're in, whatever. And then what are your top 3 favorite Star Joe's properties? So just off the top of your head. So it could be any of the normal main stuff like Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers. It could be obscure stuff like Visionaries, Silverhawks, Mask. It could be movie stuff, so stereotypical 80s stuff like Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, that type of stuff. Whatever you consider Star Joe's, what are your top 3? And we'll go from there. So we'll start off with the hosts. So this way, it gives you guys time to think about those things. I think the hosts, we kind of know what our top 3 usually are. So so I will save myself for last because most people know what mine are. So Chuck, why don't you go ahead? Who you are, where you're at, how long you've been involved in Star Joe's, and what you're
about a week. Hey, real quick. I just got a text from Travis. He said he's going to join. He fell asleep. He thought that was at 10 o'clock.
Hey, did I not call it? Did I not call it? Travis fell asleep. There he is, Mr. Travis.
Hey,
I said you were going to fall asleep. So I said Chuck wasn't. So I said Chuck wasn't going to make it, and Travis was going to fall asleep. I'm 50-50.
Travis fell asleep because there's Gavin. Say hi, Gavin.
Hey, Gavin.
We were we had another birthday party for Gracie and got home around 5:30 and sat down and got comfortable. And next thing I know, and I get a couple text messages. And I go, wait, it starts at 10, right? Nope. Okay.
It might go past 10, but you know.
I got my Mountain Dew. I'm ready to go.
All right. So
where's my Kickstarter?
So talk to Robert.
It's Saturday. I feel like I'm getting
you're talking about Elders of the Runestone, right? So
I didn't back that. I'm the only one that didn't.
All right.
Back.
So anyways, I think
Travis calling in knocked me off.
Probably did.
Say what?
Ass. I think you knocked me off.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
That's okay.
we're gonna Travis, you'll catch up. I'll let you know when it's your turn what the hell you have to answer because you joined us late. All right, Chuck. Who you are, how long you've been involved, where you're from, and what your 3 top Star Joe's properties are.
Hi, I'm Chuck. Been here since day 1 with Ryan. We started this nonsense a
sorry.
long time ago. Sorry. My bad. When did we? 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
January.
while.
I want to say January 4th is when it was.
Yeah, we were talking even before then, but yeah, we kicked it off in January.
Yep.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Well, obviously G.I. Joe.
Okay. Yeah, they
Star
don't have to be.
Wars.
They don't have to be in order. Just
G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and probably Masters of the Universe.
Okay. Cool.
Kind of nail down 3.
Stop.
Cool. John, how about you?
John, aka the Sellout, Richmond, Virginia. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Mega Force.
Nice. Should have seen that one coming. All right, Mr. Grubb, who's probably been on the episode the most after any host. So, Grubb, how about you? You can talk anytime you want.
I think he's on mute.
He's probably on mute.
He's on mute.
No, something's happening.
Oh, you know what? This is weird. I can double mute myself, apparently. I can push
Oh, there you
the
go.
thing, and I can also click the mute on the screen. Okay,
Oh,
anyway.
there you go. Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, I live just south of Baltimore. I've been listening to the podcast since probably episode 12, 13, 14, 10, somewhere in there.
Nice.
My top 3 properties have got to go with Robotech, Star Wars, and Joe.
Nice. Very cool. All right, Travis, even though you came late, you've been on the show quite a bit, and you signed up pretty early to be on here. So did you understand what you need to give now as far as information? Okay.
I got it. Travis Fowler, Uncle Teabag. I've been here since the late single digits, early double digits, when Star Joes go to Mid-Ohio. Well, Mid-Ohio was a convention.
When it was a thing,
world.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, holy crap, these guys, like, they're really close. Boy, I just should have ran, to be honest with you, 10 years later. So I've been around since then. My 3 favorite 80s properties are Masters, Joe, and Thundercats.
Nice. And we just had someone join us, and I have to crack up because I love the image that was used. It's just Brian Anson. He had a picture of Chuck with sunglasses. Nice. Oh, getting some bad audio there, but let's see. I like the Zartan look, though. That's nice.
So you thought you were looking at Chuck this whole time. Thank you.
I don't know if your connection's bad or what it might be. It's getting some bad audio coming through. There for you.
Cobra.
And Nick's chopping.
Thunderdome don't have, the Terradrome doesn't have very good.
Yeah, the Terradrome has bad
Have you
Wi-Fi.
ever tried to get internet connection out in a swamp?
Oh, there you go.
That's better. There we go.
That was almost how Zartan talks in a cartoon, so I thought he was trying to pull something off there.
Yeah, nice.
I
think John went to go get a beer.
It wasn't working.
Gotcha. All right, Nick. If your audio is working, I know yours was a little sketchy there for a second. Introduce yourself. Like I said, you've been on the show quite a few times, so.
You hear me okay?
Yep.
All right, so Nick from Ohio. I'm not going to say I'm the #1 fan, but I think I'll say I'm the first fan.
Probably the first fan, yeah.
I'm dubbing myself the first fan. I'm going to have a #1 on the back of my Star Joe shirt.
Nice.
But my top 3 would be Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and Thundercats.
Cool. Very cool. Thundercats was a bit of a surprise for me. That's a good one, though. All right, Mr. Rock. It is your turn, buddy.
Well, I'm Rock. Some of you guys know me from my podcast, Open Up Your Toys. Some of you guys know me from the infamous YouTube channel, Rock the Farting Dad. Ever-growing subscription base of fans. And I'm from Long Island, New York. And I've been around probably since episode 3 is when I found you guys. And then I went back and listened to the other episodes. And my favorite is G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and Terminator.
Nice. Very nice one. All right. And we just had Mr. Brian Shearer join us.
What's up?
Welcome aboard.
How's it going?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm all right.
You're looking all professional there with the microphone and everything.
Look at that.
So look at his swanky setup.
Yeah. It's like I do this all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right? That's that swanky YouTube show you do.
Check out everybody's COVID beards. I don't know. I think John wins over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually shaved right before this. I wanted to look nice for everyone. So, Mr. Shearer, you just actually joined us, and I'm actually going based on how in order based on how people signed up and everything else. So we skipped you because you weren't here yet, but we'll go ahead and have you introduce yourself. So what you'll do is this is the introduction icebreaker. So you'll say who you are, roughly how long you've been, you've either listened or known Star Joe's, rough idea, and then your top 3 favorite Star Joe's properties, and that can be defined any way you want it to be. So
okay. Well, I'm Brian Shearer. I draw comic books like G.I. Joe and Transformers, and I don't remember when I found out about Star Joe's. It's been what?
It's been a while.
A long time.
Yeah.
It's like in the recesses of my memory now. I don't even remember.
I want to say at least 5-6 years, if
at
not
least
longer.
Yeah. So
it's when we bothered you at a convention.
Yeah. But you know, enough Baltimore Comic Cons for me to miss Baltimore.
Right.
And all the craziness there. But as far as like properties, let's see. I think G.I. Joe, Transformers, and I don't want to say Star Wars because that's kind of cliched, right? I mean, it's
you can say whatever you want.
I have to say that.
You don't.
What if I went like completely off the rails and said GoBots?
There you go.
Nice.
That works.
It would be a lot.
GoBots, yes.
But I do like GoBots, but I don't know if it'd be in my top 3. But I'll stay with that because no one else will. GoBots.
Right. There you go.
I'm going to change mine to GoBots too.
There we go.
And before I forget, Brian did not ask me to mention this at all, but I'm going to mention it anyways. And I want to mention it before we get too far in the episode and I forget. You have an Indiegogo for your new art book out right now.
I do.
So you want to
Brian Shearer Volume 2 is live now. It started this week. It's got like 25 days left. It's a little over halfway funded. So it's 120 pages of art. Volume 1 is still available. There's a tier for that. And every book comes with a sketch in the back. So
that's awesome.
Check it out.
And
look down there. Wait, I don't know where I'm pointing. Way down there.
And if there is a reward, because I saw it, especially if you're a big Joe fan, where you can get some of Brian's artwork from Joe. So
it's true.
That is a nice reward there. And as someone who has his first art book, I can tell you it is well worth getting because there is a lot of goodness in there. So if it's anything like the first one, it's well worth your money.
It is like the first one and 4 pages longer.
There you go.
So,
and you can get both art books in this one, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
So if you didn't get the first one, you can get them both this time. So I wanted to mention that because, like I said, I am a fan. Not only am I your friend, but I'm a fan of your work. So I wanted to plug that there for you. So
let me interject real quick in that.
Yeah.
I think I even sent this message to Brian when I got the first art book. That art book, that first one that you did, Brian, is honestly one of my favorite artist art books that I own and I've ever seen. So, and I'm not saying it just to be a kiss ass because you're right here, and I own a shit ton of your artwork already. But
thank you, I appreciate it.
No, I feel the same way. I get a lot of artists' art books, and that was by far one of my favorite ones. So that I have in my collection. So I actually do bring it out many times to be like, oh yeah, I remember he had something with that character, and I go and look for it. So
cool. Yeah, so same kind of deal there.
Cool, very cool. All right, next would be Mr. Mike Neville, who I work with, and when we There was a time when we at Baltimore Comic Con where we said that if we were to break people down into different roles and things like that, I got designated as the dad of the group. Mike I would designate as my little brother, like the little brother I never had. So, so Mike, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, roughly how long you've known Star Joe's, and your top 3 properties.
Michael, I'm about a stone's throw from either Ryan's house or Chuck's house here in Strongsville, Ohio. Been listening, pushing probably 4.5, 5 years. Listening to the show since Baltimore was about, my first Baltimore was now 3 years ago this year. But favorite 3 properties, I'll go Star Wars, Back to the Future, and Zelda.
There you go. Cool. And Mr. Brian Lang, who has humbled me on many occasions with his love for Star Joe's. I actually want to show something. So I did grab some pieces in my collection to kind of talk about like nice memories of the show and everything else. I want to show this real quick. This is something that Mr. Brian Lang did for us. It's a Star Joe's cover with a lot of the different properties on it and everything else. He had prints made and brought them to Baltimore. I think this is the first year you met us, correct?
It was.
Yeah. So this is still something I have. The only reason it's still rolled up, although you can see it's in very great condition, is because I have not yet started hanging stuff in my geek room. So once stuff starts getting hung up, I will be having this hanging up there. So, and he has his hanging up. There you go. Very nice. But yeah, that will be getting framed and hung up in my geek room. So that was very humbling to get, amongst many other things you've told me that you've done, to listen to Star Joe's and everything else. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody?
I am Brian Lang from Georgia, North Georgia. My favorite properties are G.I. Joe, then Star Wars. That's obviously how I got to you guys. It only makes sense there. And then a very deep cut would be third, probably Crystar. That's in the 80s. So I would.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Even though you guys never talk about it, I would say that would be my third favorite property.
I am writing that down as something that we need to cover sometime just for you, sir. I have no problem covering Crystar on this show. All right, Mr. Somebody who we never had the opportunity to meet before, but Mr. Brian Anson. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Who is Zartan today? So.
I am Zartan, the greatest of the 80s characters. And frankly, I've never heard of Star Joe's before. I accidentally clicked an ad when I was playing a video game. I'm not sure how I got here.
Well, welcome aboard.
Frankly, I want to have a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
One of the lowlights of your 10 years of buffoonery. Episode number 223.
Okay.
Top 20 favorite G.I. Joe Cobra characters. You have me at 19, and Chuck only puts me in at 17? I'm a top character. The only thing that makes it worse is that Chuck put Shipwreck ranked higher than me. Shipwreck? More like train wreck. It really says a lot about that organization when any drunkard doing a poor impression of Christian Slater doing an impression of Jack Nicholson can come stumbling off the street and become a star for G.I. Joke.
In my defense, Shipwreck and I have drank many times.
There you go. So Chuck blames the alcohol. So I have no excuse. So
I demand that you reevaluate your rankings.
We'll get right on that. I'll write that next to an episode about Crystar. Reevaluate rankings.
I'm a big fan of Zartan. I wish he'd signed it with his RHP.
Nice.
There you go.
Mr. Rock, I'll send you my address. You go ahead and ship that to me. I will autograph it and send it right back to you.
I'll send you this one too, all the way from India.
Wow. That's some good stuff.
Here
there,
is a
Rob.
man with some class. I like this guy.
Well, thank you for gracing us with your presence. I greatly appreciate it. So I'm not going to bother asking you what your top 3 properties are because there's Zartan, Zartan, and Zartan. So all right, next
It
we
begins and ends it.
next we have another person who we've never had the opportunity to meet in person, and that would be the wonderful Miss Lee Aaron.
So I'm Lee Aaron. I'm from British Columbia, Canada. And I guess probably my top 3 would be, well, really standard G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and Galaxy Rangers, but really kind of any of the Saturday morning cartoons.
That hey,
From,
Galaxy Rangers, that's a strong
back
one,
in the day.
So, yeah.
Good Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. Galaxy Rangers, that one's close to my heart as well, as far as being one of those obscure ones. So
no guts, no glory.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. And then we have the infamous Mr. Andre.
Hello, I'm Andre. I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. I've been listening for probably 7 years. My top 3 properties would be G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Knight Rider.
Oh, nice. Very cool. I like how there's like the 2 obvious ones and then people are just throwing in like, okay, I got this one. All right. So then we have Mr. Sam Murdoch.
Sam Murdoch. I'm from Buffalo, New York. That's where I live. And 3 favorite properties would be Masters, Star Wars, and G.I. Joe.
Okay, nice. Did I miss anyone at all? I don't speak now. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You know what happened? That's when Brian jumped on. So sorry about that, Kevin. I actually had you in the middle of the list here. So go right ahead, Mr. Longman.
Kevin Longman. I'm up here in Alberta, Canada. Actually, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Since Aaron's actually another Canadian, I figured I'd say Edmonton. Top 3 properties would be G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and probably Transformers or Mask.
There you go. Very nice. So everyone knows me. I'm Ryan. I've been here since day one. Been keeping this thing afloat some years easier than others. But I'm in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And my 3 properties, obviously Star Wars and G.I. Joe, are in there because otherwise this show would be called something different. And then the third one I would have to actually say is Indiana Jones. While I don't own very much Indiana Jones stuff, those movies mean a lot to me. So with that, now that we have introductions out of the way, wanted to kind of talk about the podcast itself, and then we'll kind of get into conventions and stuff like that afterwards. But I want to hear from you guys. Mr. Zartan, you've already kind of spun off somewhat what we were looking to do with this, which was, I want to hear from you guys, like, what are some favorite Star Joe's moments you remember? What are some of your favorite things about the podcast? They don't have to be things that happened in the podcast necessarily, but maybe things that came because of the podcast, friendships, whatever, like anything whatsoever. Just again, it's a celebration of over 10 years. Like I said, Mr. Zartan kind of headed us down this path, although his was about what he didn't like about the show.
I got a lot of that.
Oh, believe me, buddy, you and I have a long list of things against each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to hear from people, like, and this is a free for all. Again, be mindful when people are speaking. Everyone, I want to give everyone a chance to talk, and we will make sure we do that before we move on to the next topic. No one is required to give an answer to this question. This is just if you want to talk, feel free to. So I just want to throw it out there. What are things that you've loved with the podcast, whether it's on the things that have happened on the show or things that have happened outside the show? What are, I'm just throwing it out there for anyone and everyone to talk about. Don't all start at once.
Go. I think, yeah, everybody mute. No.
All right.
I would say
topic.
honestly, yeah. Moving on.
No, I mean,
I would say honestly, I'm sorry. Yeah, what I take away from the podcast after 10 years and stuff like that is all the friendships that I've made through the podcast. Honestly, I call a lot of you guys friends, and I mean it, because you're really good best friends, and I chat with a lot of you on a daily basis. Whether it's text message or whether it's phone calls or whether it's through messenger in social media. I'm glad you guys are in my life.
Mine's not as emotional as that one, unfortunately, but because of this group, I actually got my G.I. Joe poster signed by Herb Trimpe and what's his name? What was his name, Eric?
Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck.
No, not Mike Zeck.
Was it?
Mike Zeck.
Simonson?
No.
I remember getting Zeck and Trimpe for you.
Mike Vosberg.
Oh, Vosberg, that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, because of the group, get to know Eric, and Eric said, "Hey, send me your poster." Yeah, and I got Herb Trimpe and Vosberg to sign it, and the Herb Trimpe obviously means the most to me in that poster because he's only so far who's passed.
Yeah.
So, and he's such a legend in the industry.
Sure.
And of course, the Schwitz stories is always good flashback.
Love the Schwitz.
I will tell you guys, that's honestly not the Schwitz itself, although that was hilarious, but one of my favorite things about the show, outside of what Chuck said with the friendships, which honestly means the most. I mean, you guys wouldn't all be here, and like Chuck said, I consider all of you guys friends, whether I've actually met you guys in person or not. Truly, you guys are friends. But my favorite thing too is some of the organic things that happened with the podcast. Like there's been so many things that have become like standard Star Joe's things and legends of like things like the Schwitz that just happened. Like the stuff that people remember are mostly the stuff that just happened on the show, and we didn't plan for it and didn't think it would. RHP, Rock, you mentioned that earlier. That happened just organically on the show.
And that's really a what's on Joe mind inside joke that came here.
Yeah.
And still gets used to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It actually makes an appearance in my comic book.
Nice.
Yeah. I kept it all ages, but it's in there. Yeah. So
subtle.
Remember, everybody, get your
right
Kickstarters.
in the middle of the comic book.
Get your Kickstarter CGC first appearance of Rock. So it's gonna be a hot seller.
That's right.
Not just you, buddy. Not just you.
The first appearance of Rock's RHP.
Right. It's gonna be as hot as the Batman Damned.
Talk about a splash page, huh?
Wow.
Done.
So anything else you guys want to throw out there?
I think one of the best episodes was the convention tips episode.
Okay.
Going to a convention for the first time is very intimidating, and that episode really broke down the, if you want to commission, this is how to approach an artist and talk to them about it. Just the general etiquette of what to do at a convention.
Bathe.
That's what I was John's
say.
rant.
Deodorant?
John's rant right now about people with deodorant.
Well, I'm glad you found it helpful.
Yeah. They were fun to do, because we did it pretty much each year. We would do one. We tried to spin it a little differently each time, so it wasn't just the same stuff every time, but we always ended up talking about the same stuff, like hygiene.
It's important.
Hygiene's important.
Very, 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 very important.
For the 2020 version, we need to add wash our hands, wear a mask, and use hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
6 feet social distance.
I don't know. I think the hand washing thing is kind of should have been doing that all the time. You know, you're
Well,
going
well,
looking
true.
through. You're looking through all those long boxes and whatnot, and then all of a sudden you want to go eat dinner.
Yeah.
That's not cool, man.
Yeah.
That's a
Baby
good point.
steps.
That's a good
Baby
point.
steps.
There's a reason why it's called con crud.
Yes. For sure.
I think it is safe to say that when I started listening at episode 10 or whatever, whoever's getting that feedback, it's driving me fucking nuts. But episode 10 or wherever I started listening, if you'd told me that I'd have roomed with like 1, 2, 3 of these people, 2 of them have stayed on my couch. I've had more adventures with Brian Shearer in restaurants and sneaking in kitchens to steal stuff. Yeah, none of that. I would have never imagined any of those things when we started this adventure.
Right.
The fact that several of us have other podcasts now that we're part of, there's other merch out there. All these things are just insane. Like that was never part of the plan, right? Like it was
Right.
literally, I found this group because of Robert Atkins, who was supposed to be here, but he's probably outside my window right now trying to steal my internet.
On your internet, yeah.
Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing the opportunities that have presented themselves based on literally hitting download one time, listening to something, and then starting to take part in the community.
Yeah. That's been and honestly, that's been the craziest thing too, because when Chuck and I first started, it was just like, hey, we want to talk about these things, we'll record it and put it out there. And next thing I know, like I got John's joining me as a co-host from just talking on forums and stuff like that. I got Eric's constantly on to make sure. I always want to have him on when we're doing like Star Wars stuff, but then there's him and I have talked about other episodes that we need to do together and everything. So
like look behind me, Ryan. That's part of what
yeah,
we're talking
exactly.
about right there.
Yeah, exactly. So to Chuck's point, we talk, like I text with a lot of you guys like almost every day, and then there's some of you guys that I'll message with or text, or even just talking on Facebook or wherever. Like that's been really crazy and never expected any of that. So
Well, the fact that I was in Atlanta for work, Brian Lang drove an hour plus to meet me sight unseen at a hotel, picked me up and drove me to breakfast. And I'll never forget, he says to me, I don't know if I'm going to recognize your voice or not. I'm like, huh? He goes, I listened to the show at 1.5 times speed. So he didn't know if he was going to recognize my voice. And then he started asking me questions about the podcast that I didn't remember. I was like, dude, I forget 5 minutes after we hit stop. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. And my wife's like, you met a dude for breakfast. You're like, oh yeah, he picked me up and drove me to breakfast. You met a dude through your podcast that you let just drive you randomly around Atlanta. We're grown ass men. It's okay. Like we're talking about
Travis Travis could talk about that.
Travis got in a car and drove all the way to Baltimore with you love nuts. I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
We showed him the candy and he got in the car.
right.
My wife only found out like a year or two ago that I never knew Travis before that happened.
That's hilarious.
Well, I think the fact that he's not here. JP has stayed on my couch probably more times than Grub, and Andre's on all of it. It's crazy.
Andre's Andre, so. But yeah, Travis, how about that? Like you didn't know us from anything other than listening to the show, and next thing you know, you're getting in a car with us for 6.5 hours.
No, that's true. I think I've said it before, but listening to you guys and having interactions on the forums, it's hard to believe in 10 years that what used to be a norm for all of us, talking on the forums back and forth, has now, turned into text messaging, Facebook messaging. But I mean, I felt like I knew you guys at least well enough to like go to Baltimore. Why not? Like,
I honestly felt like,
let's be honest right now, this relationship has lasted longer than the relationship I had to explain why I was going to Baltimore with a bunch of grown men that I didn't know. So
to be perfectly honest too, I think we had more to be worried about than you did, because you'd been listening to several episodes at that point. We didn't know you from anybody.
Right. Well, I mean, the other thing is too, I thought I was doing the right thing, because I didn't want to like ask to stay at anybody's house at night. I mean, at least at a hotel, there's like plausible deniability, and maybe I could sleep on the couch or like somewhere. But like, I just remember like leaving at 3 a.m. and getting to Ryan's house at like, I don't know, 10 till 7 o'clock. And like you open the garage door, I'm like, well, this is either going to go really well or I'm about to go missing. So let's get out of the car and check.
That was pretty much the rule.
The beginning story of losing a kidney.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, Kevin, if you do fly down here.
Is that when you guys drove to pick up Chuck and he was doing his hair and you had to wait for him?
Yeah.
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 Chuck went full diva on us, and he needed a Snickers that morning.
He did. He really did.
Super early.
How much time do you have to spend with your hair when mine is literally like 4 times yours length?
You know what? Not much now. It's kind of falling out. It's really getting thin.
Well, the funniest part about it was that Chuck had to do his hair. Chuck had to do his hair to get into a car with 3 other guys for a 6.5-hour drive.
You got to look good.
None of us gave a shit.
Right.
So
You got to go. You had to look good.
So Mr. Andre had to part early. So sorry to see you go, but yeah, we'll definitely catch up with you in the future. And then Mr. Shearer, how does it feel when you have a bunch of these guys descend and use your table as the hub for all of us to meet at every year at Baltimore Con?
Tradition's what that is.
Right.
Fortunately, it's usually me and Shannon have a table together, so there's at least enough space back there so we can dump everybody's backpacks. But not the Baltimore has been because I think I was familiar with the show before I did Baltimore. I think the first year I did it, y'all had already been going. So Baltimore has kind of been the show where I could get to see some of you guys in person, and we all go to the little Irish restaurant there, little Irish pub thing, and something crazy happens to Shannon, and I'm usually there to witness it now.
Right.
So it's, I think that I really missed that this year. I missed, the shootings just a block away and the police cars rushing by while we're eating dinner, and it's just
shaped tubs.
It's good time.
You like black meat?
No, my personal favorite was the zombie guy that had drank too much and
oh yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Oh yeah,
that was good stuff.
We thought he was going to come through the window.
Yeah, and Olivia Tin jumping out of her chair, freaking out.
Yeah, she was right by the window.
Yeah, that was amazing.
There was a guy who got Cosby with a cup of water.
That's a pretty accurate impression of that dude.
I
I'm
was
the
loving
straw.
So we're kind of segueing into it anyway. So I kind of want to steer it away from the podcast, although you're welcome to bring that up as well at any point. But I want to talk about conventions and convention stories. Obviously, we started talking about some things that have happened at Baltimore Con, but I know not all of you have been able to go to Baltimore Con. A lot of you guys go to other conventions and everything else. Like Brian Shearer, I know you've got stories to share of stuff. So I want to hear some convention stories. I want to hear like what are the crazy things that happened, really cool things that happened to you. Like what are some of your guys' experiences and stuff?
Just in general? Like,
yeah, just any conventions. Yeah, just
I mean, I think the weirdest thing over the years, especially the last 10 years, has been, growing up with all these properties, like, I think most of us are kind of 70s and 80s, kind of, that's kind of when we were a peak kid. And you watched all these shows, you had all these actors and everything. And then now you see them in the celebrity zoo and they're not the hot thing anymore, but it's like, oh, I remember that person. I remember that person. And then you run into them. Like I ran into Todd Bridges in the elevator. That was kind of bizarre. And then Lou Ferrigno, I'm not going to say anything publicly negative about him, but he's Lou Ferrigno. And but no, one of the cool things though, and I think last year when I did a panel with Sergeant Slaughter and Larry Hama, and it's the first time I'd met Sergeant Slaughter, and I got to talk to him, and he lives like 25 minutes away from me, and I've run into him like several times at the shows, and he kind of remembered me and stuff. So that was kind of cool. But those things are pale in comparison to like, well, I mean, honestly, you got to go back to the Baltimore stories.
Oh yeah.
Because, if people don't know, the joke is every time Shannon goes to Baltimore, something weird happens. And that's what I always heard. And then I started doing the show with Shannon. I can tell you it's twice as crazy, because the last year I think we went, I'm not kidding you. So he was up at our hotel till like, 2 a.m, and he leaves and there's a murder out like right in front of his hotel. And the next morning he's telling me all about this. The hotel was locked down, and the next night we go to dinner, him and my buddy Chris. We're at this little out of the way little kind of pub thing, and it was at this tucked away corner. All of a sudden police are like closing off the street, and it's absolutely insane. And then we spent the whole evening trying to figure out what happened, and then someone said, oh, somebody punched a cop. Like really, that's what it takes to get the police in Baltimore in force. So if you're ever in Baltimore, you need the cops, just punch one and the rest of them will come. But it's those kind of little after hours, out of the way things, I think that build the best memories. And I mean, some of you have been there for them. So you know what I'm talking about.
I want to piggyback off of that. It was the first year we went to Baltimore, and the only time that we went to McDonald's before the convention. And
I know right where you're going with this one.
Yeah, we all were there. I know Ryan and Chuck, I think Nick, you were there too. We had walked, decided to get extra adventurous and go one more block from Dunkin' Donuts to McDonald's. And when we did that, we're all waiting in line, and they don't have a public bathroom, but the bathroom's locked in. This self-admitted crackhead needed to get into the bathroom, and because he couldn't, he was yelling at that person in the bathroom, claiming that they're not a real crackhead, he's the real crackhead, and I need to get into the bathroom because I'm the real crackhead.
I can't remember, did we stay and actually order our food until it was done?
Yeah, we went up to the balcony because it had like an upper level.
That's right.
We actually ate there, I believe.
Yeah, we did.
Upstairs.
Yeah, you're right, Nick. We did. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, good Lord.
We were.
I didn't realize there's a McDonald's in the demilitarized zone over there.
Yeah, you don't go there. It's
the rule
Dunkin'
of
Donuts, and that's it.
The rule of Baltimore is exactly what Travis just said, which is you don't go the extra block. You stay in the one little area.
Yeah, you stop at 7-Eleven and Dunkin' Donuts, no further.
And even Dunkin'
Eat at the
Donuts is
hotel.
iffy.
Yeah, eat at the hotel. You're probably better off.
I'm good with just stopping at Hooters.
Yeah,
of course you
as far
are.
as I need to go.
Well, that
needs to go on. That needs to go on the story. Nick and Hooters.
I was gonna say we need to talk about that because that's now a tradition when we go to Baltimore Comic Con, and Nick's the one that started that. So
right.
So Nick, do you want to say why we started going to Hooters?
Well, all the ones that were in my area, they had closed down, so I had never been to one.
Right.
And then there's one right across the street, and I was like, we have to go. And I don't think we went the first year. I think we missed out on that the first year.
Maybe. But
yeah, because you had your picture. I took your picture in front of the sign or whatever because we didn't go.
Yeah.
Right.
So
then we went the following year.
Yeah, the next year we went, and now it's like a tradition. At least on Saturday for lunch.
Yeah,
we
lunch
go
or
to
something.
Hooters.
For lunch.
Yeah, we go to Hooters for lunch.
I've seen the tops of the mountains, and it's all good.
Jeez. Right. So with that being said, and since you're on my screen right now, Miss Lee Aaron, I know you have gone to your share of conventions. Any good stories that you'd like to share with us? Like they can be weird, like we've just been talking about, or they can be like, or they could be awesome stories. Well,
really cool. I thought about this, and one of the last conventions I went to was Emerald City Comic Con last year.
Okay.
Because there wasn't one this year because the Rona hit.
The Rona.
And so it was the last day. It was Sunday, and a friend of mine and I we were just walking around like on the dealer floor or con floor, and just looking around. I was looking for stickers, and I can't remember what the hell she was looking for. And I go past this one booth that I hadn't seen before, and there was this huge banner up top, and it said Samantha Newark from Gem and the Holograms. And I'm like, hang on a sec. And I look over, and sure as shit, she's sitting there doing a signing And I'm like, I look at my friend who's considerably younger than I am. So she had no idea who the hell this was. And I'm well, like, you got to give me a sec. Just give me a sec. And she's looking at me and I'm like, whatever. So I go over and I was that person. I butted in line. I just went straight kind of around the corner, stuck my head over there. And I said, look, I'm really sorry about this. I don't do this, but I just want to say, thank you for, being, kind of like a friend that I would come home from school. And like many of us growing up in the 80s, we were all latchkey kids because our parents were working.
Yeah.
So you'd come home from school, you'd watch G.I. Joe, you'd watch Transformers, and then Jem and the Holograms came on, which my brother then, pissed off because he didn't want to bother watching it. But I kind of enjoyed it at the time. So I'm sitting there, I'm talking to her, I'm stuttering, and I'm starting to tear up. Now, I don't tear up, like I don't cry, but I'm talking to her and I'm like waving my hands in front of my eyes, trying not to cry. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. I know I don't do this, but I just wanted to say thank you. You were part of my childhood. You and the rest of the holograms, they were like became my friends. And then I'm crying, and then she starts crying, and she's like, oh, I'm so thankful, and glad you stopped by. And then I walk away with my friend, and my friend's looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? This is some strange lady that she had no idea who it was. And I'm still like freaking crying away and wiping my eyes. And I'm all like, yeah, just ignore me. I'm fine. But I mean, it was so random, and I had no idea she was going to be there. And it was just at some dinky ass little booth. She was doing a signing.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, shit.
Yeah, we were actually
yeah.
supposed to have her on the show at one point, and then that she had other engagements that happened. We had to cancel, and it's my fault. I just haven't reached out to her person again to arrange something.
Yeah.
But probably now with all this fun COVID stuff going on, she's probably a lot more available now to come on and talk. So I'll have to reach out to her again. I still have the contact person to reach out to, but everyone knows I'm a fan. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, it was super random, and it just I could turn the corner. I'm like, holy shit!
Hey, we actually I
gotta be that person. I gotta stick my head in there.
There is actually a Jem and the Holograms convention that tours around the country, and it was actually here in my area. I want to say last year or the year before, and I would have actually gone to it just to meet her. And also, I was a fan of the IDW comic that was going on. They were having some of the creators there. Oh, that was
fantastic! That's right, because I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
The new version of Jem and the Holograms came out, and I was excited, and you were going like, oh my god, I got to get the special edition, blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, I got the Trapper Keeper special edition.
Oh Jesus!
But I wanted to get that signed by some people there and everything else. But then I looked at the ticket prices, and they were like ridiculous ticket prices. Like it was completely like, yeah, no, not for like a hotel style convention. I was like, I'm not paying that type of price. So.
Yeah, at the random booth I found, it was like $50, and you got her signature, you got to meet her, and you got the little pop vinyl that she was signing.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, well, I don't have any money left because I was over at fucking Ultra Sabers and buying lightsabers and shit.
There you go.
So I stuck my head in there. Okay, thank you, and crying. It was embarrassing.
That's awesome. I love it, Mr. Longman. I know you got stories because you've worked conventions. So I know you got some stories.
Andy's Canadian. Yeah, I've worked 15 conventions so far to date.
Nice.
And probably the best story I have is basically because of my daughter. Because we work the show, she knows all the volunteers. She knows the show, so she'll just walk around randomly. And I'm doing my area. I got a text from my wife saying Rooker stole Jordan. I'm like, what? So I go over to where she's at. My wife is doing line control for Carrie Elwes, Wesley from The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on? And she goes, I'm standing here and I hear a blast of whistle. I'm like, who the hell's whistling? And she looks over and she sees Michael Rooker waving his hands in the air. And she's like, what? She's working. And she looks over and Jordan's standing beside Rooker behind his table, just waving. She's 10 years old at the time. And I'm like, what? So I look over and she's still there. So I walk over and Rooker's talking to an attendee. So he's standing at his table talking to somebody. And I'm off to the side of it because he's got an end lane. And I see Jordan, so I take a couple pictures of her standing beside Rooker, and I'm like, "Come here." And she's like, "What?" She goes, "What are you doing?" He asked if I wanted the job, and I said yes. I'm like, and so I'm trying to get some answers out of her, and he finishes with the attendee, and he sees me. He goes, "You must be Dad." He comes over, shakes my hand. Think she's not being a problem. Nope, she's being good. She's helping me out, and she was legitimately helping.
Oh wow.
The lady was taking the money for whatever they wanted, and she would put the post-it note on the item with the person's name on it, and there was nobody to slide it in between. So Jordan was literally handing stuff to Rooker as he was finishing with attendees at 10 years old.
Wow.
And
That's
so
awesome.
we got some amazing photos of him and her together. He put one on his Instagram, and I saw it when it had like 30. He shared it on Facebook. That's what it was, because I got a notification. Michael Rooker shared your photo. What? I look at it, and within like 20 minutes, it's up over 3,000 likes.
Wow.
And I'm just like, okay, this is something that does not happen at cons regularly. So enjoy this one while you can.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And as it turns out, he was the last one that was up here in Saskatchewan he was at, and a friend of mine was at the show working it, and she talked to Rooker's agent who was there. And as it turns out, the agent actually remembers my daughter from 5 years ago still.
Oh,
So we're really hoping he comes back here and he remembers her still.
that would be cool. That would be very cool. Very, very cool. Mr. Shearer, I want to turn it back to you for a moment, because since you're the artist that's here, out of all your conventions, and you can give us more than one, but out of all the conventions you've done and requests that you've had, what is or what has been some of the oddest things you've been asked to draw? You know, you always get asked that, so I'm sure you know.
Naked robots.
I can think of two right off the top of my head.
Okay.
Early on, a guy came over to my booth, said, "Can you?" He says, "Do you do commissions?" Like, yeah, of course I do. Can you do Aunt May spanking Mary Jane? And I have reference.
Oh God.
Nice.
And I said, I don't think, no, I don't want to. And then the other guy, there was a guy that went
Take the money.
I just didn't want to see the reference.
Take the money.
So then there was another guy who used to make the rounds who, and some of you might have run into him. They used to call him Scuba Guy. And his shtick was, I want you to draw some heroine, like could be, Poison Ivy or Batgirl or whoever, but they're underwater. They've got the old style, like kind of diving bell helmet with the hose, but there's a octopus or something choking the air supply off. Every time. That was his shtick. And
that's very specific.
It's frighteningly specific. And I'd heard about him for years. And then I finally ran into him and he hit me up. It wasn't like he was at my table. I kind of ran into him. I don't even remember how. It was like, he found out I was an artist and he's like, here's my number and here's what I do. And as he walked away, I went, holy crap, that was Scuba Guy. And so I never actually did anything for him. But so I dodged those two. Those are probably the weirdest ones. I don't get many really bizarre ones, but those two kind of stand out at the top of the weird pile.
Now, what's a weird one that you did agree to do though? Because obviously those you didn't get to do. Like, was there anything that's really been bizarre that you did go, okay, I'll go ahead and do that?
I don't really get hit up for much of that. I don't know why. Okay. Maybe it's just because of the type of thing I post online. I do a lot of Transformers and stuff. So I don't get hit up. Other than, maybe doing the Huxtable Hangover of the Bill Cosby drawing in the back of my art book.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that one qualifies.
Yeah,
for sure. Did Rock ask for
I
that
think
one?
we need to explain that. Right? The Huxtable Hangover was Bill Cosby. I drew a picture. It was just after he went to prison. It's him in prison, looking like he's hungover, and then his big burly cellmate is in the back saying, "Hey, Puddin'," getting his comeuppance.
Yeah, that one qualifies.
Okay.
I got a quick question for Brian in that I don't know the infamous Mekong dinner with Larry Hama. And
it's been two of them. Which one?
The one where he was suggesting telling John's son about why he should go to what's was it the
Oh, because
West?
commie girls are easy.
Yes, I don't know if we ever heard your side of that, because I remember you sitting next to me, and we kept looking at each other like, what's happening here? You know,
I've been with him at Mekong twice, and I don't remember all the details of that conversation. I do remember my one image is of him leaning over and going, because commie girls are easy, and giving a little nudge. But for those of you that don't know my Larry Hama relationship, is that even though I've been on GI Joe for how many years, like I've done over 50 issues, whatever, he never remembers who I am. And I've met him for the first time 28 times, right? So every time I meet him, it's a new introduction, which it's like a new beginning. I can do no wrong because he doesn't remember who I am. And the latest one, the funniest one, was in October of last year. I did a show with him. I was sitting next to him all weekend. We did multiple panels together, and we're going back and forth. And it's like halfway through the show, he kind of recognized who I was because he mentioned Shannon, and we're talking. And about a month later, he's on a podcast. I think it's Billy Tucci's crowdfunding thing, and they're talking. And I've told people this story on like my YouTube channel about how he never remembers who I am. So this guy said, "Hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to give a super chat." And so Billy Tucci will have to read it. And it's going to say, "What was it like working with Brian Shearer?" And so I didn't get to watch the thing. I'm just at home minding my business. And all of a sudden my phone starts lighting up. And it was like, "Oh my God, I thought you were kidding." And I'm like, what is this? And he goes, "I sent the message." And Billy said, "What was it like working with Brian Shearer?" And Larry just goes, "Who's Brian Shearer?" And like everybody on Twitter starts sending me messages like, I thought you were exaggerating. Like, no, he has no idea who I am. He never has remembered who I am. So it's like 50 first dates with Larry Hama. That's my life.
That's awesome. And you have another issue coming up that you worked with him on.
Yeah, they want 277. That's coming up, what, in a month or two?
Yeah, and you're doing it's a Law and Order story?
Yeah, it's Law and Order. It takes place during issue 200, so it's kind of a flashback.
Oh, cool. Very cool. So I know you got to get going. You have some family
time.
stuff.
I'm introducing my son to UHF, Weird Al movie.
Oh, nice.
You are the man for that, right? Total man for that.
So one more time, plug your Indiegogo thing right now.
Yeah. So Art of Brian Shearer, Volume 2. You search for it on either go to on Twitter, Brian_Shearer, or just search on for Brian Shearer on Indiegogo. Art book, lots of options there to get original art. I've got, like you said, a tier for original GI Joe pages because I've got a huge stack of those, or original drawings. So yeah, check it out and back the book. And hopefully, I really want to make this one hardcover. We'll see if that works. It just depends on the stretch goal. After it gets funded, we'll see. So
cool.
Check it out.
Well, thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure. And next time we have you on, we'll make you an official host at that point.
Okay.
I think at that point you've reached that level. So
yeah, hit me up. I'll be there.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Take
Thanks,
care,
everybody.
man.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Anyone else have any convention stories? Anything else that you wanted to talk about when it comes to conventions or Star Joes? And then after that, we'll jump into the firing range, which is going to take some time. So,
well, I got one more, and it was from right before everything shut down. There was a convention up here in Vancouver, Fan Expo, and it happened in February. And I was with I belong to a group called the Mandalorian Mercs. I'm sure you guys may or may not have heard of them. It's kind of like the 501st, but it's not the 501st. And we're all Mandos. Anyways, so I was helping out with the booth, and next thing I know, there's a bit of an uproar, and I look around, and Giancarlo comes walking in, and he just comes walking in and says, "Hey, how's everybody doing?" And we're shaking his hand, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are the Mandos." Like, yeah, you want some pictures? And we're like, okay, cool. And then so he comes down and he's chatting with everybody, and then pisses off and goes back to his booth to sign more stuff. I mean, dude's really nice.
That's very cool. Very, very cool. Love it. And so we just had Brian had just left, and now we have Mr. Joel Jackson, who is my co-collaborator on the Stealth Hammer comic that we did. Joel, welcome to episode 250.
Hi, sorry I was running a little late.
No, you're good. So what we did at the beginning is we introduced ourselves, where we're from, how long we've known of Star Joe's, and your top 3 Star Joe's related properties, and that can be defined any way you wish. So
okay. Yeah, my name is Joel Jackson. I'm drawing Stealth Hammer. I've been an illustrator for a very long time at this point. Self-publish comic books, do children's books, anything you can throw at me. My 3 favorite properties: He-Man, Transformers.
and it sounds like your microphone might be a little soft right now. So
Okay, sorry, and I can speak up too if that helps.
okay. So it was He-Man, Transformers, and what was the last one?
Oh, Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna jump into the.
Brian?
Yeah.
I got a little con story.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go for it.
So I forgot to when I introduced myself, I forgot to say I was listening to the show since about episode 5 or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you were Soulfly Jedi for a long
that's
time before.
like my email. Yeah, that was like my forum thing, whatever.
That's how we knew you for a long time.
Before I met the way I met you guys in person, I drove to Cleveland, which is like 4-hour drive for me. Met with Chuck and Nick, and we went to the Columbus, Ohio toy show, which is like another 2-hour ride.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what same boat with Travis when he met you guys, went for a ride.
Right.
But yeah, that was a good day.
Yeah.
Been to 2 Baltimores. So no special stories, but it was just good time hanging out with everybody.
It's awesome. Very, very cool. All right. So for episode 250, I did a firing range, and I did 25 firing range questions that everyone's going to answer. So it's going to take up a good chunk of time. You can answer these any way you want as per the rules of firing range. A lot of these are this or that, but as you know, you can answer them any way you wish to. I will go through in order of who is still here. So I'll let you know when to answer. And some of these are longtime Star Joe's questions, of course. Some of these I think we'll put to bed after this because there'll be a definitive answer after this many people answer them. So we will start with, and some of them I changed up a little bit. So we're not going with the typical Star Wars or Star Trek as the first question because that one's been done to death. And if any of you guys said Star Trek, I'll just kick you off the episode anyway. So with that being said, related to Star Wars, Empire, Rebellion, Old Republic, or First Order? Chuck, you start us off.
What were they again?
Choices are the Empire, the Rebellion, the Old Republic, or the First Order.
Shit. I'm gonna go Empire.
Empire. Okay, John.
Where do the Mandos fit in?
The Mandos. We'll just go Mandos. You can answer it any way you want. So
Mandalorians.
There you go. Eric.
No self-respecting biker scout is anything but Empire.
There you go. Travis.
Empire.
Okay. Nick. Nick there.
Empire.
Empire? Okay. Rock.
Empire, yeah.
The Empire.
There you go. Mr. Kevin Longman.
I'm by myself, I think, in this one. I'm going Rebellion.
Okay. Mr. Neville.
Old Republic.
Mike, you there? Like 1 minute.
Here?
Yeah, there you go.
I said Old Republic.
Old Republic. Nice. Okay. Mr. Brian Lang.
Ewoks.
Ewoks, nice.
All right.
I'm not picking you up at the airport anymore, Brian.
Can I switch mine to Gungans?
Oh, you get kicked off for that one. Lee Aaron.
I'm gonna go Rebellion.
Okay. Mr. Joel Jackson.
I'm a rebel all day, every day.
There you go. Sam.
Rebellion.
Okay. And I would go Rebellion as well. So
I thought you were going to go Klingon.
no. Face for that one. All right, next one. Another one that I changed up just a little bit. Joe, Cobra, Dreadnoks, or in honor of my good buddy John, October Guard. So Chuck, we will start off with you.
I'm sorry, just the look on John's face.
John's face was priceless. Oh my God.
Chuck, Joe, Cobra, Dreadnoks, or October Guard?
I'm going to go Destro's Iron Grenadier.
There you go. All right. John.
In Soviet Russia, Joe's collect you. October Guard.
Not even a little surprised on that one.
Not at all.
Eric.
Yo, Joe.
All right. Travis.
Target Cobra Island.
For the win.
Nice. Nick.
Joe's.
Okay. Rock.
Cobra, all the way.
Okay. Mr. Longman.
Jews.
Okay. Mr. Neville.
Joe's.
Mr. Lang.
Joe.
Lee Aaron.
Joe.
Okay. Joel.
Joe's.
There you go. And Sam.
Cobra.
Okay. I would go.
Cobra.
I would go Joe. So. All right. This is going to be the this one we're putting to bed after this episode. When it comes to muffins, blueberry or chocolate chip, and I'm tallying this one up so we know what the
Such a good
definitive answer
question. This is hard-hitting journalism. Why are you
Right.
putting this to bed?
because we've asked it enough times.
This should
and
be the standard question to
we
everybody.
we need the definitive answer on this one. So Chuck, start us off.
Blueberry, of course.
Okay. John.
Shout out to our brother Keith Knutson. He would say pumpkin spice, but I'm going chocolate chip.
Okay.
Oh, John, you're breaking my heart.
Eric.
Anyone who says blueberry is wrong, chocolate chip is clearly the answer.
Okay. Travis.
Blueberry.
Okay. Traitor. Nick.
Traitor.
Chocolate chip.
Okay. Rock.
Chocolate chip.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Kevin.
Chocolate chip.
Okay. Mike.
You guys
Neville.
hate me. That's all I'm saying.
Chocolate chip.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Not
I
about
told-
hate, it's about which one is better.
I'm walking out.
Told you a long time ago, Chuck. Brian Lang.
No way. I abstain.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's valid. You answered any way you want. So
I'll take that as a win.
nope. Lee Aaron.
Blueberry.
Okay.
Nice.
Joel.
Blueberry.
Hell yeah.
I might have to stop working with you.
Save the best for last.
Sam.
I do like both, I guess. Huh?
Blueberry.
Okay. And then I say chocolate chip. So chocolate chip has 7 and blueberry has 5. So chocolate chip wins.
Not in my world.
That doesn't have to be your world. We're in my world right now.
I mean, to be fair, if I'm given one or the other, I'm going to eat them. But
Right. Well, yeah, that's a given. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
That's true.
yeah, no doubt. All right. When it comes to Masters of the Universe, He-Man or Skeletor? Chuck.
Oh, Skeletor.
Okay. John.
Ram Man.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Eric.
Onan. I can't stand He-Man. Sorry.
Okay. Travis.
Skeletor.
Oh, nice. Even showing it there. Nick.
Skeletor.
Okay. Rock.
I would like to say Fisto, but since I can't pick Fisto,
You can. You can pick Fisto.
I like Fisto. Otherwise, I really would say Skeletor.
Kevin.
I gotta go He-Man.
Okay. Mike.
Skeletor.
Okay. Brian Lang.
He-Man.
Okay. Lee Aaron.
I actually like the new Shearer.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Joel.
I love them both so much, but
I
He-Man.
know. Okay.
He-Man.
Okay. Sam.
I'll go with He-Man. If we're talking about the two groups, I'll go with Skeletor's crew.
Okay. And I'd go Skeletor over He-Man, but this is the classic debate, and not the one you're thinking of. I guarantee you. That comes later.
Sidekick.
No, we're not there yet. Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow, Chuck.
Oh, Storm Shadow.
Okay. John.
Commando snakes all the way.
There you go. Eric.
Mando Snake.
Okay. Travis.
Boy George Snake.
The win. Yes.
Nick.
Storm Shadow.
Okay. Rock.
Version 2 Snake Eyes.
Okay. Longman.
Any version of Snake Eyes.
All right. Mike.
Snake Eyes.
Mr. Lang.
Snake Eyes.
Of course. I'm not even a little bit surprised at that. Lee Aaron.
Snake Eyes.
Joel.
Snake Eyes.
And Sam.
Storm Shadow.
Okay. And I would go Snake. I'd go Snake Eyes. Love them both, but you gotta go Snake Eyes. Chuck, be nice on this question. Warning you ahead of time.
Sidekick.
When it comes to Skywalkers, Anakin, Luke, or Rey?
Well, only two are Skywalkers. Let's be honest. What were my choices again? I'm sorry.
Anakin, Luke, or Rey?
Anakin.
Okay. And I know there's other Skywalkers. So again, whatever your answer is valid. It's your answer. So
Anakin.
John.
Luke.
Okay. Eric.
Luke.
Travis.
Anakin.
Nick.
Luke.
Rock.
Luke.
Kevin.
Ben from the Legends series novels.
Oh, okay. There you go. Nice. Mike.
Luke.
Mr. Lang.
Luke.
Lee Aaron.
Leia.
Oh, see, I was gonna put Leia on the list, but I was like, Matt, if someone wants to say Leia, they can. So, and Joel.
Luke.
Okay, and Sam.
Luke.
And I would go Luke as well.
Oh, no love for Rey. Big surprise.
I love Rey. I pick Rey. I pick
Not
Rey
as a
over-
Skywalker.
I pick Rey over Anakin as a Skywalker.
No.
Nobody said Shmi.
Shmi.
Shmi Skywalker.
Shmi Skywalker.
Nice.
No love for Shmi.
No one said Cade. No one said
Actually,
Cade.
I almost did say Cade.
Did you almost say Cade?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mary Jade married Luke, so you can go with her too.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Lion-O or Mumra?
Oh
Chuck.
my God.
Yeah.
I want to say Snarf for comic relief, but out of the two choices, I'll go Mumra.
Okay. John.
Panther.
Nice. Eric.
None. Skip.
Okay. Travis.
That is a total valid answer.
Right.
Lion-O, because every time he calls and grabs a sword, he's calling his hose.
That is a
Giant ass
beautiful
laser
answer.
pointer.
Nick.
Yeah, for cats.
Panthro.
Okay. Rock.
Mumra.
Kevin.
Orko.
Orko.
Not
Yes.
Thundercats was not one I ever watched, actually.
Orko should never be the answer for anything.
It's valid. I'll accept
it's
it.
better than Snarf.
There you go. Hey, Mr. Chris Ward.
Sorry, I started drinking and I forgot.
It's all right. So before we continue down the line, and I do know where we left off this time. Chris works with me. He was supposed to come with us last year to Baltimore Con. Bad things happened. Thankfully, everything turned out
It's
okay.
okay.
in the
You can
end.
say it. My mom had a stroke.
Yeah, and thank God she's okay.
Yeah.
And then this year he was supposed to come with us, and then he called upon the coronavirus, so he can have another excuse for not coming. So Chris, to introduce yourself to everyone, we told people to say who you are, where you're from, how long you've known Star Joe's, and what are your 3 favorite Star Joe's related properties, and that can be anything in that you deem as a Star Joe's related property.
Okay. Chris Ward, originally from Cleveland, Ohio, live in Strongsville. And I'm sorry, what was the rest? The 3 Star Joe's properties?
Yeah, like what's your top 3 favorite? And they don't have to be in any order, just your top 3 favorite things.
I would have to say, well, Star Wars number 1. Is that what you mean? Like,
yeah.
Okay. I heard you talking about Thundercats, so I would say Chitara's ass and tits. I liked her as a cartoon. And honestly, number 3, just the way all you guys get together and talk about everything, man. It's so much fun. I love being a part of the group on Facebook, and it's just fun as hell.
Cool.
And I got to know Rock, and Rock's fucking awesome.
Awesome. Yes.
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Love you too, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah, we're
buddy.
Yeah, we're not a PG podcast or anything like that. So.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. And if you did swear and we were PG, I'd just bleep you. So it's all right.
Perfect.
Because bleeping is funny.
Right, exactly. So we're in the middle of the firing range. So these are those this or that type questions, and you can answer them any way you want. I'm not gonna get you caught up. I'm just gonna throw you right in the middle of everything.
Sounds good.
So I'll have you right at the end of everyone here. Mike Neville, Lionel or Mumra?
I'll say Orko is always a good answer. Umrah.
Okay. Mr. Lang.
Ultraman.
Nice. Lee Aaron.
I guess I'd have to go with Thundercats.
Okay. Well, Lionel or Mumra? They're both in Thundercats.
Yeah, no, I did that now. My brain just went sideways. Yeah, I guess Lionel and his group.
Okay. Joel.
Mumra,
Very nice. Sam.
Points for the lowers.
Sam still here?
Tough choice, but I'll go Lionel.
Okay. I would go Mumra. And Mr. Ward.
Oh, Mumra all day.
Okay. All right. Related to Thundercats, Chuck, this is going to be easy for you, and I know it's going to be easy for Sam, but we're going to go Masters of the Universe or Thundercats. Chuck.
Oh, Masters of the Universe.
John.
John, Masters of the Universe or Thundercats?
Motu.
Nice. Eric.
Fuck. I don't like either series.
He wants to put a bullet in his head.
Okay, there you go. Bullet in your head.
I'll just listen to my kids scream for 30 minutes straight instead.
Okay. Travis.
Totally valid.
Motu.
Okay. Nick.
Thundercats.
All right. Rock.
Ouch.
Motu.
Okay. Longman.
Masters.
Mike.
More Jamie references. He nuts by that. He-Man.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Jamie Cosley. You got some artwork from him recently, so it's very nice stuff. Brian Lang.
He-Mans.
Nice. The He-Mans.
Mans? There's plural?
The He-Mans. Oh, yeah.
The He-Mans.
He-Mans.
Actually, you know what?
The
Let
He-Mans.
me amend my answer. I'm going to go with the new Shearer cartoon because I haven't actually watched it yet, and I'm more interested in that than either of those two.
Okay.
series. And
Fair enough.
it is basically
Valid.
the same world.
There you go. It is. Lee Aaron.
Galaxy Rangers.
Joel.
Oh, Masters.
Okay. Not even a little surprised at that one.
Yeah,
And,
no, I do love them.
and Sam, I don't even want to really ask you because I know the answer.
Masters.
And Chris.
Any universe that has Fisto in it is the universe for me.
That is why Chris is a brother from another mother.
There you go.
Hilarious.
Yeah, you weren't even here when we had the choice of He-Man or Skeletor, and Rock chose Fisto. So
I tried
Very
to think them
emphatically.
all, He-Man.
I would pick Masters. I love them both, but I would pick Masters. This one's a little off, a little bit different, but I think everyone probably has a favorite between the two. Torpedo or Wetsuit when it comes to G.I. Joe. So Chuck.
Jesus, I want to. Torpedo.
Okay. John.
Hey, everybody, it's Torpedo.
Damn it. I wanted to be able to say that, but Torpedo.
You can.
You can.
Torpedo.
Travis.
Mario.
Nick.
Torpedo.
Okay. Rock.
Wetsuit.
Okay. Kevin.
Wetsuit as well.
Okay. Mike.
Pass.
Pass. Okay. Brian Lang.
Sweet.
Torpedo.
Okay. Lee Aaron.
Bazooka.
Again, much like Orko, no one should ever choose Bazooka.
Bazooka's awesome. I loved him in the cartoon.
Joel.
Wetsuit.
Okay. Sam.
Shipwreck.
Jackass.
That is never
Another
the
solid
answer.
choice.
No.
Chris.
Sergeant Slaughter.
There you go. And I would choose Wetsuit. All right. This one, I would think you wouldn't have to think too much about it, but we'll see. Favorite animated series of all time.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
And just
Shit.
your first gut instinct, Chuck.
Not fair.
Jesus Christ.
No pressure, man. No pressure.
Yeah, I know, right? Now or back then?
Whatever you want to answer, do both. I don't care.
Holy
It's our show. You do whatever the hell you want. When has that
Yeah.
never been the rule?
True. All right, as a kid growing up, it was probably G.I. Joe was my favorite animated series cartoon. Now,
Yeah. Well, you don't have to answer. You
I want to
just-
say SpongeBob SquarePants or Phineas and Ferb.
Okay. You can say that then.
I'll say that.
Okay. John.
As a kid, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. In the last 5 years, regular show.
Okay. Very cool. Eric.
My first gut instinct is to say DuckTales.
All right.
Both more so the new series because it is fan-freaking-tastic.
Very cool.
So Robotech is going to be a hard thing to replace for me. So
Yeah. I was actually expecting that one to be it. So, but Travis.
As a kid, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And as an adult, I just finished a rewatch, but Batman, the animated series.
Nice. Nick.
As a kid, it had to be G.I. Joe. And as an adult, it's Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super.
Okay. Rock.
As a kid, it was definitely G.I. Joe. As an adult, this show called Clarence that my son watches.
Okay. Kevin.
G.I. Joe is easily my favorite. I remember waking up and seeing that on TV and racing into my mom and dad's bedroom while they're sleeping, screaming G.I. Joe's on TV because I didn't know it was coming out. I just happened to catch it during the opening sequence and
Nice.
lost my freaking mind.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Very
So-
cool. Yeah. So no
And
question there.
Yeah, I don't really have anything current. I'll just watch whatever the kids are watching if they're watching something.
That's fine. You don't. I just said one. Other people start throwing. So GI Joe works. So
Yep.
Mike.
Those are my 8 shows up. Pinky and the Brain and Invader Zim for childhood. Currently, I'm Grub, new DuckTales for sure.
All right. Brian.
Anything from Deke.
No, that's not a valid answer ever.
I call shenanigans on that.
Points for trying, but
Didn't Deke do Cops? Cops was good.
Well, Cops was good.
The only thing good about Cops was the intro. The rest of that show was garbage. Be realistic.
I haven't watched it in many years.
I agree
No,
with you.
woo.
Yeah, the intro was good.
The intro was
was good,
amazing,
but
and then the rest of it
not
just
too bad.
it's
Yeah.
never lived up to the to that intro.
No.
All right. I'll
Not at all.
I'll have to watch an episode. I'm sure I can find it somewhere. Lee Aaron.
When I was younger, it was G.I. Joe, and more recently, Star Wars Rebels.
Nice. Very cool. Joel.
Masters when I was a kid, and but now I would have to say Dragon Ball, like all of it.
Very cool. Sam.
All time would be South Park.
Okay. Nice.
Nice.
Chris.
As a kid, it was Super Friends, and as an adult, it's Archer.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Archer is good.
No one's surprised by mine because I've mentioned it many times. Batman the animated series for me. So, all right, this one should be fun. Scarlet or Lady J? Chuck.
God, I want to say Baroness.
You could say Baroness then.
I'm saying Baroness.
All right, John.
Ninja Force Scarlet.
Right.
That is a bad answer, sir.
Eric.
Like saying
Covergirl.
Tiger Force.
CoverGirl for the simple
CoverGirl,
reason of the fact that
yeah.
it was always the toy I wanted I never had.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Travis.
Baroness is Conch Show.
Nice.
That is
That's
honestly
why
one
we're
of my
friends.
That was
That's why
honestly
we're
one
friends.
of, that was one of my favorite episodes ever to do of Star Joe's was the Conch Shell episode of the animated series because I could not get through it at all. I was laughing way too hard.
I actually was Baroness's lackey last year. So
Okay, there you go.
as much as I'd like to
Nice.
say I was the Destro to the Baroness, I was really Baroness's.
Nice.
I got a little kid in here. I can't say the word.
Nick.
Can he read? So spell it out.
Right.
Aaron is this cuckold?
You've got
Nick's-
one less subscriber on YouTube now, Rob. He's your biggest fan.
Scarlet or Lady J, Nick?
Lady J.
Okay. Kevin. Or I'm sorry, Rock, actually.
Scarlet.
Okay. Kevin.
Scarlet.
Mike. Okay. Brian.
Hey, she represents Georgia. Got to go with Scarlet.
There you go. Lee Aaron.
No surprise, Lady J.
Not even a little surprise there. That's why we're
Good one.
friends. Joel.
Lady J.
All right. Sam.
Scarlet.
Okay. Chris.
Scarlet.
Yep. I'm a Lady J. So.
Can I stop and point out that the Baroness is in black leather?
Right. Oh, I'm
Just
a
throwing
fan.
it out there.
I'm a fan of Baroness. Don't get me wrong.
Doesn't she
Oh,
wear
okay.
stilettos most of the time? How the hell can she move
Yes.
and or do anything?
It all looks good on the floor.
I'm suspending reality
Right.
and belief. It's just
So this could be a fun new debate. I don't know if it will be or not, but Boba Fett or Din Djarin? Chuck.
Ooh.
oh man. Boba Fett, just because of my heartstrings. Boba Fett.
Okay. John, do I even need to ask you? Pretty sure yours would be Din Djarin, correct?
No, it's Boba Fett.
It's Boba Fett?
Mandalorian's fucking great, but no, it's Boba Fett.
Okay. All right. That surprises me, but I accept it. Eric.
It's clearly Din because Boba Fett didn't do anything other than fall into a Sarlacc pit. Din, we've actually seen do stuff.
Travis.
Whatever Sasha Banks' new character name is going to be.
Yes.
Nice.
Nick.
That's a tough one. I'll go with Boba Fett.
Okay. Rock.
To concur with Grub, Din Djarin, because Boba Fett's a bitch and all he did was fall into a big sand vagina with teeth. So, yeah, Din Djarin.
All right. Kevin.
I'm going Boba.
Okay. Mike.
Din.
Okay. Brian.
Bubble Fett.
Okay. Lee Aaron.
As much as I want to say Sabine, I'm going to go with Din.
Okay. You can say Sabine. It's a valid one. Joel.
Din.
Okay. Sam. Sam's there.
Din.
Okay. Chris.
Din.
Okay. I'm going to go Boba Fett with Din being a really close second. I want to see what happens in the second season before I would have him topple Boba Fett, just because, like Chuck said, Boba Fett's at the heartstrings for many, many years. Din's a little too new for me right now.
In the event that John Morton ever happens to listen to this podcast and or somehow hear this, I apologize, John, for not giving you for going against the character you actually played.
All right, this one's another really tough one. So I'm warning you ahead of time, but it's the dreaded number 13, so I thought I'd put a really tough one in here. Favorite toy of all time? Chuck.
Oh my God. That I owned?
I don't care how you answered how you want to answer it.
Grub's looking around.
Oh, right. I got toys now.
Right. Feel like
I would say probably I'm going to go with an answer from childhood, and my favorite toy was the G.I. Joe armored personnel carrier.
All right. Very
I
cool.
used to play with that thing all the time.
Nice. John.
If I just go by total gut reaction of where you like toy,
yeah,
it's an Evel Knievel wind-up motorcycle.
Awesome.
Which has made which is being reissued now through some company, but the ideal Evel Knievel plain motorcycle, rev them up.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, I had the knockoff one growing up, but yeah, it was an awesome thing.
Well, and then of course it spawned Team America, which is also one of the greatest comics of the '80s. That I'm
you
probably
go.
the only person here that read it, but you know, Snake Eyes on a motorcycle for crying out loud.
Well, what about the best Toy Story character in Yes, I Canada?
Nice.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right, Eric.
Fuck. My inclination is to say the All Striker from G.I. Joe.
All right, Travis.
Mego Spider-Man.
Okay. Nick.
Man, as I was a kid, I'd have to say the talking kit car with Michael Knight.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Rock.
The G.I. Joe Tomahawk helicopter.
Oh, very cool. Kevin.
G.I. Joe headquarters, because I had the Vamp, I had the Mobat, I had the Dragonfly, and got everything all to meet at one spot, and I could play with it all at once.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Mike.
I think he's showing it to us.
Yes. This is recollected, but yes, Dragon Dagger Power.
Very nice.
Nice.
Brian Lang.
Snake Eyes versus 2.
Very cool. Lee Aaron.
When I was a kid, we didn't get the G.I. Joes a whole lot up here where I lived, but they had the oh my God, my brain just went dead again. Adventure People. They were Fisher Price little character things. And
Oh
they
my
were called-
God, yes.
Oh yeah.
Second best toy line ever.
My brother had the Safari, and then I had the ambulance.
Yeah. I actually looked into some of those recently, and man,
I have them all upstairs in the attic. That's the second that toy line. Fisher Price nailed it. They take a beating. My kids played with them when they were little, so they're 40 years old, and those. Oh, I love Adventure People.
Yeah,
those are great.
Yeah, I had a ton of them as a kid, and that's why I looked into some of them, because I was like, oh man, I'd love to have some of the ones I had as a kid, and yeah, they're expensive as hell now to get. So at least the ones I wanted. So
yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, very, very cool. Joel.
So it's a little bit of a tie, but I'm going to say first is Power Master Optimus Prime.
Okay.
That toy is great. It does so many different things. It was my Optimus Prime growing up. And Castle Grayskull is a close second.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. About Adventure People, Imaginext, made a bunch of like Adventure People homages in their little blind bag series,
Oh,
like a
very
lot
cool.
of the space guys, especially.
Yeah.
So go try and find them if you want some Adventure People stuff for cheap.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Sam.
As a kid, it would have been the 1992 G.I. Joe headquarter.
Okay.
And now it's the Masters Universe Classics Great Castle Grayskull.
Very cool. Chris.
Mine's a tie because I fought them against each other. It was the Godzilla with the fire tongue and the shooting hand.
Yeah.
And I had
Nice.
the red Shogun warrior that shot axes and Chinese stars.
That's
and they used to
awesome.
battle, and those are my favorite.
Those were awesome. I love those. For me, it was the USS Flag. It's hard to beat that. So,
And somewhere I hear Keith Knutson going, "Motherfucker!"
All right.
But you know who's better than the USS Flag? The man who transports the USS Flag, Captain John Thurman, taking it state to state. So,
hey, I played a part in that too.
That's true. That's right. You got it from Ohio to Baltimore.
Yeah, you showed up at my doorstep and said, "Hey, I have a USS
Brian's
Flag to
showing
transport."
Senior Lang over here showing off to the rest of us.
Yeah. Mr. Lang, you wound us. So
And that room is impressive, dude.
It is impressive. All right, the classic debate: Marvel or DC? Chuck.
Oh, Marvel.
John.
Marvel.
Eric.
Marvel.
Travis.
Marvel.
Nick.
I gotta go DC.
Okay, Rock.
DC.
Kevin.
Marvel.
Mike.
DC.
Brian.
Marvel.
Lee Aaron.
I guess I'll have to go with Marvel, but I like them both equally.
Yeah, she says Marvel with Wonder Woman behind her.
Yeah.
Right. I heard Marvel.
Joel.
Marvel.
Sam.
Marvel.
And Chris.
Deadpool's the deciding factor. I got to go Marvel.
All right, and I would be DC.
Hi, baby.
Favorite 1980s band? Chuck.
Holy crap. That's a surprise.
They can't all be
Def
easy.
Leppard.
All right. John.
What, Bubby?
Rush.
Rush. Okay. Eric.
Even though they're 70s, and if you don't count them, Van Halen.
All right.
They're 70s too. I don't fucking care.
Those 70s too.
It's your answer. It's
Rush.
whatever you want it to be.
Canada's greatest export, Rush.
All right, Eric.
I'm going to go with Metallica, followed very closely by Rush and then Van Halen.
All right, Travis.
New Kids on the Block.
Son of a bitch.
My wife would agree with you on that one.
I've been hanging tough since '87, man.
Oh, Jesus. Nick.
NWA.
Rock.
Duran.
All right.
Good one.
Nice.
Kevin.
Nice.
Going 80s, gotta go Def Leppard.
All right. Mike.
Kevin. Nice.
I'm like the common Def Leppard for sure.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Lang.
Beastie Boys.
Nice. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Lee Aaron.
Eurythmics.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh, I like Annie Lennox solo more though.
Joel.
The Ramones.
Very cool. Sam.
Player.
Okay. And Chris.
It's tough, but I can't pass '80s Metallica.
Nice. So for mine, I pulled out this classic thing that I still need to do something with.
Oh, we know what this is.
Yeah.
This was given to me by my good buddy Rock. He'll be happy to know I still have this.
Nice.
It's the.
I think that was for me.
No, it says right here to Ryan.
Oh, my bad.
But I still have this with me redesigning my geek room. This is gonna be finding a spot finally in there. So I still have it in the original packaging that you gave it to me in, so it doesn't get damaged. But
How's the autograph doing? Because I didn't realize that Sharpies fade
It's
I got
still-
that like 10 years ago.
It's still really good.
Oh,
Like,
that's good.
yeah.
As somebody who, I don't know if you guys can tell, those behind me are Sharpied like crazy with autographs. It's about light. If you can keep it in a out of natural light, the Sharpies don't fade nearly as quickly.
Well, that won't be a problem because my geek room, I don't open the blinds up at all. So
God, I hope so. I got all my autographs.
yeah. There you
And
go.
Ryan, every time I pass his house, I always look to see if he's still out, if he's out there.
That's awesome. No, that when you got me that was like when we were talking about like nice memories and stuff like that meant like more than I could ever say. Like that was just amazing that you did that. So
And he was pretty cool about signing it. I just felt a little awkward because every time I went there, he was he's barbecuing, he's washing his dishes, he's doing something. And then that one time we were talking about football for a while, and then he kind of knew like I was extending the conversation.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Can you sign this?" And I wanted to purposely make sure he knew it wasn't going on eBay.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, "No, this is to my friend." And he
Yeah.
was real cool about it.
yeah. But yeah, no, that's definitely something that I was shocked and humbled by, and it was awesome of you.
Oh,
to
I
do,
guess we
so.
should tell the audience, the audio people, because
Yeah.
they're not going to see this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was signed by Bon Jovi because I am the arborist to the Hollywood elite and rock stars and a lot of,
Yeah.
arborist to the rich and famous is what I go by on Twitter.
Yeah.
I thought you were a landscape engineer.
No, I don't do landscape. I'm the arborist to the stars.
There you
Rock tends to
Right.
Bon Jovi's wood.
There you go.
Be realistic, wouldn't you all want to be that way right now?
Oh yeah.
Hey, my celebrity
Right
list
when I
of
take
people-
a drink. Jesus.
My celebrity list is really long of people who I've taken care of. Richard Gere, Jimmy Fallon. I mean, my list is big. Madonna. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
shit. It's a lot of people I've worked for. So
So the list is long but distinguished.
Right.
yes.
There you go. No, that was it. Like I said, I grabbed a couple items that I wanted to bring up during the episode because I was like, there's been some really cool, like you guys have mentioned, there's been some really cool moments of things and things I did not expect, and that was definitely one of them that meant a lot to me. So, all right, I brought this one up because we did do Chuck and I did a whole top 5, I think, of this way back in the day. So, your favorite fast food chain, Chuck?
Ugh.
Do you remember doing that
Chick-fil-A.
episode? Do you remember?
Yeah,
doing that
yeah,
episode?
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. All right.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
John.
Chick-fil-A, I guess.
All right. Eric.
Got to go back to my SoCal blood and being in and out.
Okay. Travis.
Taco Bell, rest in peace, Mexican pizza.
All right. Nick.
McDonald's.
All right. Rock.
Belly bombers all the way. White Castle.
All right.
Yeah, I'm changing my answer. White Castle and Big Red.
There you go. Kevin.
Harvey's.
All right. Mike.
McDonald's. Had it earlier.
All right. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Brian.
Pass.
All right. I'm never going to get you to be able to answer one of the food ones unless it's like, what's your favorite meat?
What's your favorite coffee to have butter in it first thing in the morning?
Right.
Bacon.
Well, see, fortunately that's a joke that only people who have met Brian in person
Right.
are going to
Yeah.
get.
So Brian, would you like to briefly explain why you don't really have answers for those ones, like what you do?
My diet consists of about 80% fatty meats and about 20% of air and coffee.
There you go.
Keto?
Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
realize
keto.
we had Joe Rogan on the podcast. This is so awesome. I'm a huge fan of your podcast. I take your On It supplements. I'm a big fan.
Just make sure to get the CBD.
All right, Lee Aaron.
Well, I'm going to be the good solid Canadian here and say Tim Hortons.
There you go. Joel.
No fast food.
No fast food. All right, Sam.
Go Chick-fil-A.
All right, Chris.
Nice.
Rallies
All right, and I'll go Wendy's.
or Checkers. I don't know where you guys live.
Yeah.
It's Checkers here.
So no Hardee's, huh?
No Hardee's. No. Only on the trips to Baltimore Con. So.
I was gonna say, yep.
Yep. Okay, X-wing or TIE fighter? Chuck.
Ooh. X-Wing.
All right. John.
No speeder.
There you go. Eric.
X-Wing.
Travis.
X-Wing.
Nick.
X-Wing.
Rock.
X-Wing.
Kevin.
X-Wing.
Mike.
TIE Fighter.
Brian.
X-Wing.
Lee Aaron.
The Ghost.
Oh, there you go. Love it. Joel.
X-Wing.
All right. Sam.
X-Wing.
Chris.
TIE Fighter.
All right. I got to go X-Wing, but I'm surprised
Oh
no
yeah,
one.
you got the helmet. You have to.
Right. I was surprised no one threw in Millennium Falcon. So
I would have said A-Wing, but I just whatever.
yeah,
It's a sidekick.
Hey, we're getting there.
Total sidekick.
Getting there. Favorite Cobra Trooper type. Chuck.
Ooh. Viper.
All right. John.
Hello, Viper.
Eric.
The Vipers are coming.
Travis.
The Bat.
Okay. Nick. Nick's on a delay.
Is he a 10-second delay?
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, that room he's hiding in with all those long boxes behind him.
It's blocking reception.
Right, I'm busy reading you. Snow Serpent.
Snow Serpent. Okay. Rock.
The Bat.
Bat. All right. Kevin.
Go with Viper.
Mike.
Viper.
Mr. Lang.
Eel.
Nice. Lee Aaron.
I'll have to go with Viper.
All right. Joel.
I'm going Bat.
All right. Sam.
Vipers.
All right. And Chris.
Viper.
All right. I would go Bat and with a very close second of the Eel. So
Yeah, Eel's a good one too.
yeah, that's a great one. All right. Favorite Joe or Cobra vehicle? Chuck.
Jesus.
These are the hard-hitting questions.
Oh, these are the difficult ones. I'm gonna go Sky Striker.
All right. John.
Vamp Mark 1.
There you go. Eric.
All Striker.
Travis.
The Trouble Bubble. I'm serious. I loved
Dude.
that toy as a kid.
I was real quick. I was playing that
That's what I'm
that
saying.
GI Joe Operation Blackout game earlier.
Yeah.
The Trouble Bubbles have been updated and are in that game.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. Nick.
The HPC.
Okay. Ak.
I already said Tomahawk before, so I'm going to say Cobra Hiss Tank, the original one.
Nice. Kevin.
I thought I was saying Pogo, but I have to go with the Dragonfly.
Go. Nice.
Mike. Mr. Neville.
Give him Pogo.
My mute sucks. No. Hovercraft.
Okay.
So,
In the whale.
So the whale. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Mr. Lang.
No cat.
Nice. That's a good one. Lee Aaron.
Bridge Lair.
There you go. In honor of Robert. Joel.
I'm gonna go Sky Striker.
Nice. Sam.
What was the question again?
Are you paying
Oh, the
attention?
hiss.
That's what
The
the
hiss.
question.
His answer is
I
Battle
need the
Cat.
Anakin. I need the Anakin gift.
Chris.
I think we lost him. I
Did
don't
we
see
lose
him
him?
on the list.
Yeah, I don't see him on the list anymore. All right, and for me, I have to go Sky Striker. So, all right, this is another one we're going to put to bed after this one. R2 or 3PO?
C3PO. C3PO.
Should I even tally this one?
Okay, yeah, for fun, for shits and giggles.
All right, I'm going to tally it. All right, John.
K2SO.
I want to change my answer.
Eric.
D2.
What'd you say, Eric?
D2.
D2. Gotcha.
Really, R2A3, but no one's gonna
Yeah.
as Wedge's droid, so R2D2.
All right.
He wants the
Travis.
D2.
C3PO.
You son of a bitch.
R2's like the Peanuts teacher. You just never understand what he's saying. Like wah 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 chirp chirp chirp.
That's a problem with
Thank you.
C3PO is you do understand what he's saying.
Whatever.
I go R2.
R2. Okay. Rock.
C3PO.
You asshole.
These are his friends, people. These are his friends.
Kevin.
R5D4.
Okay.
He's
Nice.
he's the real hero. He sacrificed
Classic.
himself so R2 could go.
Yes, he did.
You read the book. You read that book.
Did you ever read?
Yeah.
Did you ever read the short story of him being a Jedi?
Right there.
The Jedi droid. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Yep. All right, Mike.
BB-8.
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 Okay. Brian Lang.
R2.
Okay. Lee Aaron.
This is a hard one, actually. Well, no, it is because I mean you got so many cool droids, but I'm gonna go with R2 because he's constantly swearing because all you hear is the beep.
Right, there you go.
I'm really surprised you didn't choose
Joel.
Chopper.
Yeah, it's R2.
Well, you know,
There's
Chopper
me too.
is yeah.
All right. So Joel, you said R2?
Yeah, R2.
All right. Sam.
Two.
All right. And Chris is gone. I'm gonna say R2. R2 wins. So we're done with that question. Favorite Star Wars trooper. So we did the Joe ones. So for Star Wars, what's your favorite trooper type? Chuck.
It's a tie between the TIE fighter pilots and the AT-AT drivers.
All right.
Not a trooper.
Right. Troopers.
Yep. John.
Snow.
Okay. Eric.
Biker Scout.
Yeah, not even a little surprise there.
Nope.
Travis.
Biker, and I'm not saying that because Grub's awesome.
Right.
But he is awesome, man. So are the Biker Scouts.
Yeah, unfortunately, my toad and everything are in another room in the closet. I'm not pulling it out. I'm pulling the armor out today.
Nice. Nick.
It's a tie between the Snow Trooper and the Biker Scout.
All right. Rock.
I'm gonna go with the regular Stormtrooper again.
There you go. Kevin.
Nice.
Do a little short
Short trooper from Rogue One.
Okay. Mike.
Oh.
And Brian.
Grub.
Grub. Grub's your favorite trooper. There you go. Lee Aaron.
Go with Rex, the clone trooper.
Okay.
I mean, I do have my own sticker.
There you are. You do.
That's nice.
I have your coin.
Yep. I have none of those left.
I would love to see the flow grab of you on a speeder bike.
I don't know how to ride a motorcycle, so I wouldn't go well.
But the flow would look so cool coming out from behind that helmet.
Yeah, for sure. Joel.
Just a straight up Stormtrooper.
Straight up Stormtrooper. Okay. Sam.
Stormtrooper.
All right. I have to go Biker Scout. So. All right. Just a few left. Favorite comic book character of all time? Chuck.
Oh man, that's hard.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I could probably answer it for you.
Well, yeah, it's going to be Spider-Man, but I'm debating on throwing in Punisher because I love that guy.
I know.
But Spider-Man.
All right. John.
Marauder from Team America.
There you go.
Nice.
Awesome. Love it. Eric.
Bishop.
All right. Travis.
Spider-Man.
All right. Nick.
Batman.
All right. Rock.
The fat bus driver and stealth hammer.
That is a valid answer.
Batman.
All right. Kevin.
I'll go with Batman on this one, actually.
All right. Mike.
Gambit.
Okay. Mr. Lang.
Wolverine.
Okay. Lee Aaron.
Shit. Well, there's three tied for first.
Give them all three then. It's your answer.
Okay.
You say it how you want.
Okay, Rogue, Wonder Woman, and Captain Marvel.
All right. Joel.
I tattooed web shooters on my wrist for a reason.
Oh, nice. That's
Holy
awesome.
shit, that is impressive.
That's awesome. All right, Sam. Nice. And for me, it's no surprise, Green Lantern. So,
Nort, right?
Right.
Nort, he's
yeah.
your favorite?
Right.
Yeah, Nort. Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. Well, Chip, really.
Well,
but,
yeah, he's good too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Joel, do you ever do anything inappropriate with those tattoos? Like give it by like that string, that silly string, and like shoot it out from your hands?
It's a great idea. I should do that.
Really? You've never thought of that?
I seriously thought Rock was going to go way more dirty with that.
So did I.
Oh no.
That is, I'm
No.
almost disappointed in you, Rock, because that's not your MO, man.
If I knew Joel more better, maybe I would, but I just figured I'd say that. I'm not gonna be like the guy from Silence of the Lambs that when Clarice is walking by.
Plus, the issue isn't out. The issue isn't out yet. Joel could still change the art on Rock, and
Then I'll have to go on Kickstarter and change that pledge a little bit.
He doesn't have the juice of his native peoples in him either tonight. No Long Island iced tea.
That's
No.
true. That's true. All right. Hamburger or hot dog? Chuck.
Hamburger.
Okay. John.
Bratwurst.
There you go. Eric.
Ooh, cheeseburger.
All right. Travis.
Bacon cheeseburger.
There. Just gonna keep one up in it.
Double bacon cheeseburger.
Nick.
Triple bacon cheeseburger.
Burger.
Rock.
Cheeseburger.
Kevin.
Burger.
Mike.
Burger.
Brian, I actually have a question for you.
Double hamburger, hold the bun.
There you go. I knew we'd find one for you somewhere.
Keto burger.
Lee Aaron.
Neither.
All right, and I know the answer for Joel is neither, also because we just asked him that one not that
I'll
long
say
ago.
veggie burger, right?
Yeah, that veggie burger works. Yeah. Sam.
Cheeseburger.
All right, and I would go with the bacon burger too. So, all right, the last two, and these are the two most critical ones.
Little sidekick.
And these will be, again, we'll put these ones to bed. These will be the definitive answers based on the answers that come out. Is Chewbacca a sidekick? Chuck.
Hell yeah.
John.
Yes.
Partner.
What's that?
He's a partner.
Partner? Okay.
I'm counting that as sidekick.
No, that doesn't count as a sidekick. Eric.
He is, but he shouldn't be.
Okay.
Valid answer.
He's a sidekick. He's the Marty Jannetty to Hans Shawn Michaels.
Yes, that's exactly what he is. He is Marty Jannetty to Hans Shawn Michaels. Sweet chin music. That's exactly what it is.
I don't think Han's throwing Chewie through a plate glass window, though.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, he would. He could.
That's
He
the
could.
barbershop all the time. So
Yes. Write that down exactly as Travis said it, because that's exactly it.
That's up to you to write that down.
Did he kill his first man at 13 and bury the body?
I'm writing that down right now.
All right. Nick.
In most instances, doesn't the sidekick die to advance the story?
I don't know. Not always. So yes, he's a sidekick for you.
I'm counting it as a yes.
We'll wait till his internet catches up.
Is he stealing Wi-Fi like Robert?
Probably. Rock.
He's absolutely a sidekick because there's no way Chewbacca takes himself to the groomer to get those dingleberries that is stuck in that matted fur cut off. So he's absolutely a sidekick, and that is my reasoning. And prove me wrong.
There's the Rock we know.
There's the Rock we know.
Write that down like Rock said.
Again,
There is no way.
you're
There's no
writing
way in
things
this
down.
target area. There's not big clumps in there that gets
Yes.
matted down and makes the
Yes.
Millennium Falcon cockpit smell like shit. So I'm telling you, he's a sidekick.
Would those be Wookiee berries?
Yeah.
Wookiee berries. Okay.
By that argument, Rock, I would say that Han's a sidekick if he's going to pick those out.
No, he brings it to the space groomer.
Kevin.
I say no.
Okay. And Mike.
Sidekick.
Brian.
Partner.
What's that?
Partner.
Partner. Okay.
Nobody mentioned hetero life mate like Jay and Silent Bob.
Right. Lee Aaron.
He only lets Han think he's a sidekick, but
So
he's
we're-
really in charge.
We're gonna say no.
I heard the word sidekick.
Nope. Joel.
Pilot.
There you go.
Pilot.
There you go. Sam.
Partner.
All right, and I say he is not a sidekick, so he's not a sidekick. It's 5-7. So 5 yeses
That's
and,
not right.
and 7
Add that up
no's.
again. No, add that up again. That's
All
not
right, here's the other one. Chuck, you're gonna love this one. We're gonna really find this one out now, although I'm a little afraid. Duke or Flint? Chuck.
Yeah, you seriously asking me this question? Seriously?
One for Flint.
Get the fuck out of it, Duke.
All right, John.
Out of those two options, without deviating,
Yeah.
Duke.
All right, John.
Breaker.
Eric.
I'm gonna let it stand, and I'm gonna count that for you.
Dusty.
I'm counting that for you.
Travis.
Who has a classified figure? Duke.
Duke.
Who has an awesome sideshow figure?
Both of them.
Duke.
Right.
Both
Duke.
of them.
Now Flint's is not that awesome.
No, Flint's is awesome. It's right here.
No, it's not that awesome.
It is
Yeah,
awesome.
Flint's so awesome. He the real Flint like kept it from you for years and years and
Yeah,
years.
he's awesome.
Yeah. How's your big man doll?
So, all right, Nick.
The one who gets captured less, Flint.
Rock.
You know what? I've actually changed my mind on this subject. I used to say Duke would be my favorite. I've gone Flint only for the reason of even on the new 6-inch figures, there's a picture of Duke captured. So what does that tell you? Like Hasbro's even telling you, here's this brand new kick-ass figure, but he's not that kick-ass. He can't be captured. I mean, it's a great marketing ploy.
The first mission in that Operation Blackout game, you're playing as Cobra. Duke gets captured at the end of it. He's sitting on his he's sitting on his hands and knees like this.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Even Chuck can appreciate that. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
He gets shot in the first issue of the new run on IDW.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when you're good at something, you just keep doing it.
Kevin, Duke or Flint?
Hawk.
Hawk. Okay. Mike.
Duke.
I'm gonna disown you as my little brother. Brian.
So little brothers are for.
I've been waiting my whole Star Joe's life to throw in this vote. It's third party Stalker.
You are
Totally
not helping
acceptable.
us.
Totally acceptable.
It's acceptable.
Stalker is
but
awesome.
It is absolutely acceptable, but you're not helping us.
Stalker is awesome.
Lee Aaron.
Flint.
All right. Again, I knew there was a reason I liked you. Joel.
I know it should be Flint, but my son's name is Duke. Duke.
Duke.
Sam.
Duke is Duke.
Duke.
And I said Flint, so it's 5 for Duke and 4 for Flint.
Ah.
So just to show that it is fair, you know, Chuck lost two of the debates. This one he wins. So, all right, guys. So last question I have, and then I'll just leave it open for anything else you guys want to talk about. This is the 250th episode. We've been doing this for 10 years. Realistically, I mean, you can joke around if you want, but realistically, what things would you like to see in the future from Star Joe's? Like, is there anything we haven't done, haven't covered, stuff we have covered in the past that you'd like to see us bring back, stuff we have covered in the past that you'd like to see us do more of? I want to hear from you guys, like what stuff from future Star Joe's podcast episodes do you guys want?
And it's okay to say more Chuck. That's cool.
Yeah, I try to get more Chuck on, and Chuck keeps canceling. So
I know I've got commitments. My couch is really comfortable.
Your commitment should be the podcast, but you know.
Ryan, I drink a lot. You should know this.
Well, this is true. All right, so whatever you guys would like, I just like to hear from you guys, because you guys are, not to get sappy, I'll get sappy later, but like you guys are the reason I keep going on and doing the show. So I want to hear, what do you guys want from us?
I mean, I liked it when you guys used to cover the cartoon series, or even going back and covering the vintage Marvel issues of G.I. Joe. I mean, you know, you guys would cover five issues in one episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that obviously it's like 270 something, but
yeah.
I think you could even stop at like halfway, or even just do the original run.
Yeah.
Just up to 155.
Okay.
Valid.
Yeah.
Because I think most of the people listening to the podcast probably have most of the trades.
Yeah.
So I think if everybody can either, you know, hey, next episode we're going to be reading issues, you know, 20 through 25, and this way if you guys want to follow along,
yeah,
read it real quick and go from there.
Give you guys a heads up on what we're going to be covering coming up.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, Rock.
Yes.
Is that a G.I. Joe display behind you?
It sure is. You know how I got it?
Hey, how did you get that?
I went to Walmart and I bought all the figures on the display, and then when I went to check out, I just asked the lady if I can have it. And
so you just asked if they could have it?
I asked if I can have it, and then she said she was just going to throw it out anyway. So she's like, "Can I have it?"
Awesome.
Oh, okay. So you just asked.
Yeah, it was pretty nice of her. She said, "Yeah, you do me a favor. I'm just going to throw it out." So
nice.
if you're buying the
cool.
figures, I think bought like those are the figures I sent you and Ryan.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, she was fine with that. She said, if you're gonna throw it out, she said you can have it, doing them a favor. So yeah, it looks awesome. I got all Brian like this.
That's very cool.
I got the
I like
vintage
it.
figures in it.
Yeah, love it.
It's awesome.
All right. Anything else? Anyone else would like to see in the future? Like I said, it could be stuff we have done. It could be something we haven't done that you'd like to see.
Honestly, I like it when you
Something
do
that's changed.
interviews with different creators and whatnot.
Yeah,
that's what gets me.
Okay.
So like, and now with the whole Zoom world we're in,
yeah,
you could record these and have them on your YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I mean, never mind. You've literally had two on here today between Joel and Brian.
Right. Yeah. So. No, I definitely would like to do more of those too. I just didn't. I know for a while we were getting a lot of creators on, and I just didn't know if it was getting to be too much because, again, I don't always hear from people on what they'd like. That's why I wanted to kind of throw it out at the end of this episode. But yeah, we can absolutely do more. Anything else you guys would like to hear?
Neville had a request. He wanted me to do my Blue Chew commercial for Star
Go
Joe's.
for it. Go for it.
I don't know. It's hard to keep it PG, but it got lost last
It doesn't
year
have to be
Baltimore
PG.
Con.
It doesn't have to be PG. We're not a PG show. We've never been a PG show.
Let me get my sexy voice on. Is your latest G.I. Joe comic book getting you down? Do you not like that artwork? Is that story making you a little soft? Well, I got an idea. Bite into a nice Blue Chew. Blue Chew will get your RHP ready to rock and roll. This way, when you listen to Star Joe's podcast, you'll be ready for Ryan's dulcet tones. Or you pop that Blue Chew, you'll be ready to go choo choo choo, so you can watch and read your favorite comic books. Or you can go on the YouTube and you can watch one of Ryan's reviews. So before you do it, blue chew it and do it. Star Joe's.
Love it. And that's pretty spot on to what you did in Baltimore.
It was
Just
a little bit more risque and a lot
Yeah.
more.
This
Sean
was more-
probably needs his inhaler right now.
Yeah.
This was a lot more low key than Baltimore last
Brock,
year.
I'm debating whether or not I want to hire you to do something for social hour like that.
Well, I would love to.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have
right at the
sold out, so I
beginning,
have sponsors. I don't know if Blue Chew's not approached me yet, but you never know.
Yeah, well, my podcast, Open Up Your Toys, is got Adam and Eve, Blue Chew, Audible. You know, it's got they really love us over there. You know,
Have you got your Manscaped one yet?
Casper mattresses. You got better health
Casper.
Yet? Does Stephen P. New sponsor you yet?
Yeah, because you know, if you ever have a problem, you need someone to sue. Who do you call? Stephen P. New. Stephen P. New.
Wow.
So yeah, if any of you outlaw mud show fucks out there need somebody, it's Stephen P. New. This is the time where Rock hijacks the show again. It happens every Baltimore Con show.
It absolutely happens every Baltimore.
And
Con.
the one thing nobody got to bring up about Baltimore is
Rock's
like
rants.
my favorite thing used to be number one was walking around with guys like Nick. Nick wants to get cosplay pics with the hot girls.
Yeah.
I like to find the hot messes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know that was one. And then looking for Tarzan. Tarzan's always like the best thing.
But he's been missing for like the last 3-4 years.
Tarzan used to be kind of a staple around here in general for a long time, and I haven't seen him in anything.
And a major mark when it came to buying high-end comics.
Oh,
That guy was well known within the industry or the con world. Dealers loved him because he spent money. So he could dress like that. Nobody's going to say a word. He could carry it off too, but nobody's going to say anything to him about dressing like that because he threw down some cash.
I just always worried where that money came from, though.
Well, I think his skeletal
let me get
remains-
that. There we go.
I think Tarzan's
His
skeletal
prison
remains
wallet.
have been found on
Right.
Epstein's Island. So
Nice. So
Hey, Rock, you want to do the ice cold water bit?
no, we'll hold off on that one.
Only $1.
That's right. So
I don't know, maybe Brian can rip his shirt off and do the whole thing because he's probably the closest guy out here to being ripped like that dude is.
Right.
Yeah, Brian, take your shirt off.
I did not ask for that.
Wait, let me pop a Blue Chew first.
Chuck's looking for his prison pass, so
Yeah, you get one. Tony Soprano.
no, you
Prison
don't.
Hey,
pass.
Brian Lang, would you like to go to the Schwitz with me and get a steak with Billy and some scotch?
Sounds like a good time.
So, buddy Mike, he had to head out. It's probably a good time to wrap things up. It has been awesome. I thank all of you guys for joining us this evening. Happy to see some new faces. I don't know what the hell happened to Zartan when he disappeared, but popped in.
Master disguise. He's probably still here.
He's probably still here.
He's hiding
Lee,
outside
Aaron,
John's window with Robert.
It was Aaron. It was awesome to finally see you and actually communicate with you because you're one of the people we just haven't had the opportunity to do that with. Kevin.
Funny story.
Yeah.
Quick story.
Yeah.
So when I was telling you about the gem and the holograms thing at Emerald City Comic Con last year, I also got a sketch from Brian.
Oh, nice.
He was there, and the whole time he was talking, I'm all like, and saying Larry Helm, I didn't know who he was, and I'm like, hang on a sec, I think he did a sketch for me last year. So I had to go look, and I'm like, sure enough, Brian Shearer. I'm like, shit.
So you don't even remember him.
But I mean, I'm not Larry Hama. I'm just
That's true.
a chick from Canada. I mean, come on.
That's very true. Kevin, I'm hoping once all this stuff passes over and conventions start again, that you'll be able to come down and hang out with us one time for Baltimore Con. That would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Joel, thank you for making it tonight, and thanks for partnering up with me on Stealth Hammer. It has been a lot of fun, and we're in the home stretch now, and looking forward to getting this out to everybody and making it into something. So
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
for sure.
get back to work as soon as we're done.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I have a lot of work to do on the behind the scenes book, so so I know what I know how it feels. But yeah, guys. I've only put out there intentionally small bits of the artwork that has been done, because I really want it to be like this awesome surprise when you guys do see it. It's impressive. I actually made a comment to my wife the one day, and I said, I love what's being done so much that this is a comic I would buy even if I wasn't the one making it. And she's like, you should put that as a review for it. So, but sincerely, like, I thank all of you guys. If Chuck, I absolutely want to thank you for even saying, hey, we should do a podcast, because without that being said, we wouldn't be here today. John, thank you so much for getting involved in the show, and then to the point where you became one of the co-hosts and has become one of my best friends ever. So I want to thank you for that. And I love the fact that what you started here spun off into your own thing and has been an immense success. It's awesome. And as you would say, it's bananas. Grub, you have been, again, you're one of those people where it's like, I met you because of the show, and I would not have known you if it wasn't for the show. And that would have been a big piece missing in my life, because you're my Star Wars partner in crime. So we can, and Disney and Lego and all that fun stuff. I look forward to being able to talk to you through text pretty much every day.
It's all encompassed right behind me.
That's right. Rock, man, I don't have enough words to describe like how awesome you are. So I appreciate you immensely. You bring levity when it is sorely needed. It is awesome to talk toys with you. Nick, I wouldn't know you if it wasn't for Chuck, and it's always awesome to get a text message from you like, hey, check out this new toy, check this thing out. Like, you got me involved in Neotech, which was amazing group, local group, and everything else. Travis, Uncle Teabag, again, one of those people I would never know if it wasn't for this show, and you're not that far away from me. But you are, you're one of my brothers. Like, we talk every day. So like, you guys, we've mentioned on the show before, but like Travis, Rock, Chuck, and myself we're in a text group, and we text every day, like multiple times during the day. I text with Sam every day. I text with Eric and John nowadays, especially, pretty much every day. So I'm constantly in contact. Nick and I text pretty much every day, if not every other day. Kevin Longman, my brother up there, I cannot wait to meet you one day, but I love the fact that you're also creating your own work.
Yep.
And I look forward to seeing what magic you have coming out of that.
Lars in here.
Yeah.
I guess it's one of the pages we got from my brother.
There you go. Nice. Very, very cool.
Nice.
My brother did a cover, which.
Very cool.
Nice.
Looking forward to it, man. Sam, like I said, you're one of the people I talk to every day. I wouldn't know Masters of the Universe at the level that I do if it wasn't for you. But seriously, like seeing like, because you're a bit younger, but seeing like your whole life, being part of that, like, you with your wife and your daughter coming into the world and stuff like that, to be like your friend through all of those stages in your life has been amazing. And then, did I hit everybody? I hope I did.
Lee.
Oh, well, Lee, her and I are partners in crime because of Lady J, Flint, like Gem and the Holograms. We have special kinship when it comes to a lot of these properties. And then, Mr. Lang, I mentioned you earlier in the episode. You humble me constantly with how much you appreciate the show, how much you get involved with it, how much you've made treks out to visit us and everything else. It's like, and the really cool thing was last year at Baltimore Con, like sharing a room with you, I felt like we got to know you even better, because it's like when you share rooms with guys, like you get talking about stuff and everything else. And I learned so much about you that I never knew, like in a good way. So it's been awesome making these friendships. And this goes out to everyone that's out there that couldn't be with us tonight. Like Chuck said earlier, like I can't put into words how much doing the show has meant as far as meeting people and getting to know them. I just, like I said, I can't put it into words, so I'm not going to. But I just want to thank everyone for listening. I want to thank you for giving me a reason to keep doing more episodes, because without you guys, I would not still be doing these episodes. I enjoy them immensely because of all of you. So that's all the sappiness I have to say. So anyone else have anything else they want to say before we wrap up?
We need more Chuck.
Nice.
Thanks for continuing to do this, Ryan, because I work a lot of night shifts and I do a lot of road checks by myself, and it's quiet. And I've listened to a lot. I've been listening since about 35, I think.
Okay.
And so I've listened to damn near everything on the road while I'm working. So
That's
thank
awesome.
you for doing what you do, man.
Yeah.
And Chuck and John and everybody else.
Yeah. Thanks.
I just look forward to seeing everybody next year. Hopefully by then this whole thing is over with, or a different situation, and we can all get together again.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we're all hoping for. So, all right, Chuck. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and I'm not going to do all the normal stuff. You guys,
Yeah.
if you're listening to this episode, then you
Let me
know.
say something real quick.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah.
I want to, yeah, since I have John on here, I could thank him in person for hooking me up with those figures. My the Dark Knight medals.
Yeah, John's been
found at Walmart for me.
John's been
Yeah, big shout out to John the Toy Whisperer.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Father Christmas. Thank you, John.
He's finding everything, and I can't find shit around here.
John is the new Santa Claus. He's got that beard, and like he just walks in and
got the gut. Why not?
Yeah, it's been and the cool thing is that John has done so much for other people that thankfully when John has wanted to find something, karma has come back to make sure that people find stuff for him too. So it's been a really awesome community that way. So all right, with that being said, Chuck, you ready to do the closing?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So until next time, guys, this is not the last episode. I was surprised John didn't make that joke. But with that,
Been a good one to end on.
No, we're gonna keep.
We could
going.
still do it.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep
Okay.
going. We're gonna keep doing this. Hopefully, we'll get another 10 years out of us. So, but with that, we'll go ahead and close the episode.
Yeah,
by saying
hopefully.
we'll close the episode by saying the force will be with you.
Because no one else has half the battle.
Take care, everyone.